What's up, everybody? This is Dominic DeAngelo of OneTrueSport.com, and we are right down the middle here. And it is with Bill Fonzie, Alfonso Fonzie, episode 3. How you doing, man? Good to see you. We're live.
Oh, damn great. Live on a new platform, One True Sport, Daddy. I am so happy they picked me up.
Yeah, and you know what? You are making history because you're the first one of our premier stars that are actually going live here on here. So,
wow, nice.
Yeah.
I hope we get good reviews, and I'm going to give it my best. And we got some really cool stuff to talk about. I've been on the road with Sandman, Francine. I got all kind of stuff to tell you.
Heck yeah.
And I want to know this, Dominic. Did you come up with some type of formula? Because we're going to be giving away, I don't know if it's going to be on this one, some really cool ECW stuff, man.
Right? Look at that.
God but me.
Yes, look at that. Look at man, sweet hoodies. Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah, man. We're loaded. We're loaded.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun show, guys. If you're new to this show, right down the middle, Fonzie, we have a very visual show. Like, he's got all this cool stuff that he wants to show and give away. So, what we've been doing is covering little topic by topic, and we figured we are on the Rob Van Dam podcast network as well. So RVD TV. So what we do is I figured a good way to start everything would be to talk about RVD. And so part 1 was the last week, and this is going to be part 2. So, and guys, that's available now. You can go on the Rob Van Dam podcast. If you go to One of a Kind podcast, it's available on there. It's available on rvdtv.com. But now, too, for members, it is available on on our membership wall. So if you go there, you can get the first 2 episodes. If you join OneTrueSportTV.com, just hit the join. It's there. You get an RSS feed and everything like that. But this is gonna be fun. Who do you got there? You got Rob and Sabu? Or is that
Bruno Sammartino?
Oh my God!
Old things I got years ago.
I have that too. Fonzie, do I have it with me? Oh man, look at that. Hold on a second. I have Piper here. Where is my? Oh, Fonzie, that's crazy. I have the same exact one. You know what? I have Piper here. Oh wait, there he is. Check it out. We both got the same Bruno.
Oh, do you?
I do. Hold on. Let's see. There we go.
Nice. Damn, the blue tights. Yeah.
Yeah. How about that?
Box around his boots.
Yep. Exactly.
And one fist. He's got one fist and one open hand.
Right. That's it. That's the one I got.
Yeah. This one's old, brother.
Yeah, I bought this off of eBay. Like for I don't even remember what I spent for it, but I love Bruno's one of my all-time favorites. I like. My dad grew up watching him, and with just being from Pittsburgh and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Big time.
Permane Brothers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Permane's. That's right. You nailed it.
I love it.
Heck yeah. Well, guys, if you want to help support the show, you can get a super chat in. That really helps support One True Sport and this podcast and this what we're doing here. But yeah, Fonzie, we got some plans to give some stuff away today. Fonzie's got some 8x10s. I think what we'll do, guys, if you just ask a question in the chat, you don't have to use super chat, but if you ask a question, I'll automatically put you in the mix to maybe get one of these 8x10. So if you ask a question in the chat, you're automatically entered, and we can do a couple giveaways that way.
And check this 8x10 out. This past weekend, I was with Chavo Guerrero, Fonzie, Sabu, Shane Douglas, Francine, Eyes Up Here, and the Sandman. So these are really cool. I got a big poster from the thing too. And I got one 8x10 that's signed by all the guys.
No way. Wow.
That's the one I'm going to give away tonight, Dominic.
That's the one you're going to give away tonight. All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you like, okay, we'll do this then. If you've subscribed to the channel, if you hit subscribe, you show us a little proof that you're able to do it, like a screenshot or anything. You tweet at 1TS Sport, 1TS Sport, and if you ask a question too, that'll automatically enter to you, and we'll start a giveaway like that. What a great giveaway that is to start things off with. So
yeah, and whoever calls in with a question to that, they're going to be making history too, because they'll be the first ones on our new platform.
Absolutely. Because yeah, guys, like I said, this is the first live show that we're doing with one of our talents that we have. So really exciting to have that, and so we're kicking things off. Guys, if you're new to the One True Sport Network, We've done daily shows with Zach Haydorn from the PW Torch. He does them in the morning. I had my interview with Terry Funk I posted from his final interview, and then on top of it, I did the One True View. So check it out. Check out the channel. We're going to have so many different talents on here, from Kurt Angle to Greg Gagne to Magnum TA to Arn Anderson to Jake Roberts to Ted DiBiase, RVD, and Fonzie now too. So
some big names, Daddy.
Some big names. So
I was just with the gold medal winner in Cleveland the last Saturday of last month.
Oh, really?
Like a couple weeks ago, I was with him.
Oh, no way.
Big business, yeah. He came and did a big autograph deal for AIW, John Thorne's company, and he's got some great talent up there. My goodness, and I think Kurt drove from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So he drove in and did like a 3-hour. He signed everybody. He was so cool, man, and so professional, and so cool. It was good to see him. He looks great too.
He looks great. I love the beard. He's growing in a beard.
Yeah,
like gray and stuff. Yeah. I'm loving it, man. It's kind of neat. I got to film him doing. He was training some amateur wrestlers from our being.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we went to the same college, Clarion University, and so I went and I filmed him, and he was helping these young kids out. And like when he would get up and show them how to do certain things. And when you watched him move, you're like, he could still do it. Like he was like, it was just on another level of how quick he was still and everything like that. It was just really neat to see. So awesome. So we got some people chiming in here. Bash Nagata signed up. He just subscribed already. We have Clown 313420. Oh man, that's a tough one. Where's the whistle? Cheese. He's got the whistle. There it is right there. There it is right there.
And One True Sport told me not to blow. I don't want to blow all their computers up and shit.
Right. So guys, be sure, like I said, I'll keep reminding folks throughout the show. Be sure to ask a question, get a question in. Even if we don't get to it, I'll be sure to enter you, and we can get you situated. Maybe you'll win that 8x10. So David Price is here. Yeah, we got some good people over.
Hey, David Price.
Yeah, David Price is here. Steve Mason is here. We got Prather here who signed up. Philadelphia. Yeah, we got some good folks in here. So Liam.
Didn't we have almost 1,000 listeners last time?
Yeah, we had because we were tuned in on RVD's Twitter, which we are right now. We're on RVD's Twitter, and then we're now on the One True Sport Twitter, and now we're also on the One True Sport television, OneTrueSportTV.com, so the YouTube channel. And so we're at almost 700 right now. So how about that?
Oh, hey, damn.
Yeah.
If we hit a let's see, we break the 1,000 tonight, which would be very cool. We want to get it up to 5,000 or 10,000, one day. But
that'd be great.
If we break our 1,000, I'm going to give away the 8x10, which is signed by everybody.
Wow.
And away this dope ass. It's a size medium. It's a Nike shirt, badass ECW style, Daddy.
That
Red,
is
white,
cool.
blue. Just get ready for 4th of July.
Holy smokes.
That's all, Daddy.
All right.
1,000 tonight. We're gonna give this away.
All right. Well, how about that? If we get to 1,000, we're climbing up there a little bit. We're above 700 right now, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, guys. Okay.
Hey, Dominic, I'm excited about doing a podcast. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and what I have to offer is just 44 years of being on the road, which was cool. And old pictures and stories. There's Kevin Sullivan and Dusty. One of my favorite people to work with, Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
This was May 1981 Miami Beach Convention Center. Whoa. And I was a referee, and Andre, actually, he was about 470 or something. He was really big in the early 80s. And I was in the ring with him, and he backed up, and he stepped on my foot. This is 1981 Miami Beach Convention Center, and my foot still hurts today. No, that's the true story, because he stepped on, I think he cracked some bone on the top of it, never healed properly. And every once in a while, I thought I had the gout or something because it would swell up. But then I finally got an X-ray and all that years later. And no, they said that there was a crack in there. And I could only, imagine that was from Andre stepping on it.
What?
I didn't mean to, but for 400 something pounds stepping on your foot.
How was he in the ring and stuff like that? Like, how was his demeanor when it came to like guys? Was he pretty approachable, like in certain ways? Was he pretty outgoing?
Yes and no. Yes and no, if that makes any sense. After I started for Florida Championship Wrestling in 1980, and he would come in maybe 2 times a year, maybe 3 times a year, and make the loop,
Yeah.
And then after I met him and worked with him for a couple of years, he opened up to me, and I wanted to take. In fact, it was this picture right here, the one I just showed you guys. I said, Andre, will you take a picture with me? He said, "Oh, it's for you." I said, "Yeah, personal for me." He said, "Okay," but it was, it was good.
Yeah,
he was approachable to the boys, especially, but
did he? How was it? If somebody was getting like kind of taking liberties or kind of a jerk in the ring, so to speak, how did he handle that? I heard stories about him when Ultimate Warrior. I've heard how he kept telling Ultimate Warrior to lighten up, and he wouldn't lighten up, and finally, like Andre just laid into him.
Because Andre's not gonna choke you out or hit as hard as he can, but all you got to do is throw a couple of big forearms on your back, man, and all that power. Yeah, he was straightening it out, but I don't think that happened to Andre too much.
No,
the guys respected him. They know that his personality and he was temperamental and all kind of things. So they didn't try Andre too much, and if they did, it was by accident.
It was just by complete. I didn't mean to do that.
Because who's gonna mess with a giant,
right?
I got a real cool picture of, speaking of giants. I was a personal assistant for Giant Gonzalez for 3 years.
Yeah.
In WCW. And then in WWF also. And here's a picture. This is on the set of, I think I might have showed this picture on my first podcast of, you remember Hulk Hogan's TV series, Thunder in Paradise?
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, with Jack Lemon's son, Chris Lemon, and Carol Alt, and a bunch of other stars. So Giant Gonzalez, we came in and we did one of his episodes. And we were there for a few days filming on the beach, and we took this picture. Look how big this guy is, man. I'm not short. I'm, 5'10", and Hogan's huge.
Yeah.
And look at how Giant Gonzalez dwarfs Hogan. It's crazy.
Jeez.
So I've been around giants. So I was lucky to be around 2 giants, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. Well, cool. We'll start off by let's start off how we picked up where we left off with RVD and stuff like that. So where we did leave off was let me take a look. So we talked about the rivalry with Van Dam and Jerry Lynn and how well they meshed up together.
They sure did, man. 5-star matches. I can watch them over and over. Every once in a while when something pops up on the social media, and I got a lot of footage of everything. Yeah, they were having sensational matches. And I see Jerry Lynn all the time on the road. I do the conventions and stuff, so it's really cool to see Jerry. He's in great shape. He looks great. He looks great.
He does. Would you call him one of the nicest people in wrestling? He always seems like such a nice guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a nice guy. He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
He's good. Young talent, helping him out. He's been around for a long time, man. And he's the top 10 nicest guys in the business.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super. He was the first person I ever interviewed, ever talent. I was at Starrcast 1, the first Starrcast, and I was working for WrestleZone, and I remember just they had like a media row kind of thing going on, and so I was like, I guess I'll take some time to go try to do some interviews, and I had a little recorder with me and everything like that. First person I saw was Jerry Lynn, and he was the first ever wrestling interview I did. So it's kind of neat because full circle, it's like now I'm doing a podcast with RVD and his greatest rival, and they're 2 great rivals, and now I'm doing a show with you, and it's just it's very neat how it all comes full circle. So I love Jerry Lynn. He's great.
Me too.
Yes. All right. So what happened was that ECW, guilty as charged in 2000, RVD fights Sabu. In the last match, Sabu would have been in the official ECW. When, Fonzie, did you notice that the writing was kind of getting on the wall for the end of ECW? Was there a certain moment that kind of stood out to you like, oh boy, this is not good? Or was it like a kind of a slow drip kind of thing?
It was a slow drip, and I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want to say, damn, it's possible that ECW is going to, I don't want to use the word fold, but end its 6 or 7 year big run. And I was there. I started May of '95, and I did 20. I think we did 22 pay-per-views, and I personally was on 21 of them. I missed the last one because it was splitting up, and yeah. So there was writing on the walls. But I guess it was time,
What was there? Was there a certain thing, really significant things that you're like, this is not good when I see happen this in a wrestling company or a promotion? Was there certain things that were just like, things are kind of unraveling here? Was there certain moments or certain things you can kind of point out?
Not in ECW so much, but in any company that you said, I went out to Portland, Oregon. Billy Jack started up a company. It was in the mid to late, I think it was in the late 80s, and he asked me to come out. So I drove to Portland, Oregon. I was going to be there for a year. I signed a year contract with him. And the first 2 weeks, the crowds weren't that big. He was expecting to do big business, and the business was down. And about the third week, he gave me my check. He said, Fonzie, can you not, please don't cash this till Monday. This was like on a Thursday or something. I said, fuck, that's not good.
Yeah.
So I ended up cashing it and leaving, but it fell apart pretty quick. But ECW had a fantastic run. What a run, 21 pay-per-views. We were competing with, in a small way, WCW was wide open at the time in WWF, big business. And we were holding our own. We were doing great business, man. I don't really know why they folded because we were punting along, selling out small arenas like Burt Flickinger Center in Buffalo and Atlanta. We were doing big, anywhere we went, we would do good business. Not 15,000 people like Vince does, but we were drawing 3,000 to 5,000 people minimum on every show. We were working Friday and Saturday every freaking weekend for 5 years. I was there 5 years.
Yeah. Wow. And you think about it back at that time, it's hard to even keep track of. I was just a kid at that point, but like, I do remember a lot of names leaving, like Mike Awesome was gone, then eventually
leave. Another big problem.
And then, a lot of, and Sandman, he would go to WCW. There was a lot of the notable names. RVD was there for a while, but then he got hurt. And then eventually, we ultimately saw him in WWE and stuff like that. So, and that kind of leads to one of the first questions somebody asked here, was Bash Nagata. Mr. Alfonso, were you ever part of the long-term plans for the fake WWE ECW? I guess that's the later one down the line. Did they ever talk to you about the 2008 or bringing you back in there? I know you were there for one of the pay-per-views, right? Like One Night Stand or something.
Yeah. Well, I was talked to a few times, but it just didn't pan out for me. There's only so many spots, and there were, a whole company was looking for a place to go. There was 30 guys that stopped working at ECW, and so there wasn't that many contracts open. They still talk to me. I'm in their wellness program. I'm still a part of WWF. They ask me to do stuff once in a while. I do it to this day. I would like to get that Legends contract. Hopefully I get a meeting with Triple H this summer and see if we can work something out, because I'm still very relevant, and it's because not because I was a international 5-star referee and refereed all over the world for Japan and Vince, and I'm still relevant because of ECW.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, too, it's just you helped, I think, elevate that already hot acts that were RVD and Sabu. I think you, like we said in the weeks before, it's like you were such heelish aspect of those guys. I mean, Sabu was a heel and RVD, they were both heelish mentalities, but they had their unique special style that would really connect with the fans on a kind of a baby face level in certain ways because they're so
right. I think we're more characters and I was when I first got to ECW, they wanted to kill me because I was anti-ECW.
Right. Yeah.
They wanted to, trying to stop their talent. But then once I went with Taz and then Van Dam and Sabu, I was more of a character than a heel or a babyface. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so like they made the adjustments and it all worked out in that
Yeah.
So but let's cover here. Let's see. Yeah, RVD would end up suffering a broken ankle in a match against Rhino on January 29th that forced him to vacate his title. How devastating was the injury for Rob, and what were your feelings at the time in the terms of knowing that the angle would have to be put on ice for you too? Like, how do you remember that moment when he got hurt and he was out?
Yeah, I was really worried because Van Dam hadn't got hurt really bad. I mean, he got his lip busted open, he needed stitches here and did this. He hurt his thing, but this was a serious injury. So this was the first one we were more concerned about his well-being than. I remember it was tough on RVD. It was a pretty damn good injury, but we worked his way through it, man. He's dedicated.
Right.
He followed the rules from the doctor and did his thing, and he healed up pretty. I'm not sure how many months he was out, but he was out for quite a while.
He was
to
out
heal properly.
Right.
And he didn't want to come back until he was 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember too, it's just he was such a big presence, obviously, on ECW and stuff like that. So him being away from it was
yes,
to swallow.
God, yeah, he was like the main star. It was there was 4 or 5 big top guys, and Van Dam was he was the whole fucking show.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, when ECW did go out of business in 2001, Rob made a pretty big splash in WWE. Now, at this juncture, did they ever contact you about joining ECW for the Invasion angle, or perhaps like as a referee even, or something like that? Did you ever get any? Did they ever ping you or anything like that, or was there?
Well, I did that one thing with them, and no, nobody approached me, and I approached them. I said, "Hey, I'm available. I'm out of Tampa." And they knew me already. I had worked there. Did WrestleMania 9. I was really good and still working for them on occasions. Like they had a big thing where the wrestlers did the bodybuilders a pull apart at Busch Gardens, the big zoo here in Tampa. It was pretty cool. And of course, they called me, so they would use me occasionally, but nothing really came up with my character in ECW to come in there with Van Dam or Sabu or anything. I wish it would have happened.
Yeah, at that juncture too, that from a storyline perspective, they had Stephanie McMahon running ECW, ECW and things like that. So it was a lot of things in the mix. Plus, you guys were the alliance with WCW, on that thing. So it was tough to even feature a lot of those players in there already. Like you look at like a big star that Mike Awesome was its champion in ECW and stuff like that. He was really underutilized at that juncture during those invasion.
Yeah, because nobody knew that ECW was coming to an end. And they didn't have exact date or anything, but
right.
And Vince is loaded. He's got a big staff of superstars, and then to bring all our ECW guys in, where are they going to put them? Unless they started a whole new company and kept it going just like it was. And I thought what their plan was, to keep ECW going just like it was, but somebody watered it down. It just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same, so it didn't work.
No, it didn't. When they tried to bring it back after One Night Stand, things just kind of went the way of WWE, where it was like they didn't make it significant and make it stand out as its own entity kind of thing. It was just another brand, I guess. And so it was a missed opportunity, I think, in a lot of ways. And plus, kind of changing as well in that juncture. So let's see.
Well, I'm glad I was a part of that. A great run. Thanks, Paul Heyman. Thanks, Todd Gordon.
Yeah, heck yeah. You guys were big proponents of all that, making it successful and everything. So, Yeah, so we just talked about it. You would end up appearing beside Rob at the 2005 ECW One Night Stand. Rob was injured again and could only cut a promo. It said that the idea for an ECW pay-per-view was Rob's idea. What do you remember from that night, ECW One Night Stand, being there at the Hammerstein Ballroom and that kind of atmosphere? What was the Hammerstein Ballroom, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure. Man, it felt good. Felt good to have all our guys there and their guys and Vince walking around and all their production people and all the big cameras and stuff. It felt there was a really good vibe about the whole thing. And just, I don't understand why it didn't work out, but I have no clue. I guess they had so much going on, to start a new company, and damn it, I guess they missed the boat or we missed the boat, but there was potential there, and I think it could have happened, but
yeah, there was a lot of embers there, and you could see how engaged the fans were. I think what you were saying a little bit earlier, like when ECW folded and when WCW folded, there's only one company, and it's WWE. So I think
there's about 300 wrestlers and only 60 spots, only 60 contracts.
That's it. And so I think fans, like especially in the older demographic, were looking for a more edgier product at the time, because you had John Cena as a top baby face, and very much some of the PG kind of stuff was coming into play a little bit more. So I think there was looking for like this alternative product that ECW brand was hopefully going to happen, and it didn't really happen, except those 2 nights and then a brief beginning of the rebrand of it all.
But what happened for me, even though that the ECW didn't take off and Vincent, started a new company with ECW, I started working every weekend, so I never missed a beat. I've been doing since then. I've been doing conventions and podcasts and wrestling shows and WrestleManias, and we were just in Philadelphia for 3 days for the WrestleMania. I was on the WrestleCon. I was on last year, the year before. I was in Los Angeles. Man, it's crazy. I'm working freaking every weekend. I really haven't missed a beat. I look at my schedule coming up here just to confirm everything. Let's see. So, damn.
You're booked throughout through the next few months, right, Fonzie?
Yes. Yeah. So give you May. I was in Miami, Florida, Tampa, Vermont, Cleveland to the 24th of May. Then June, West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. This weekend I'm in Minnesota. The following weekend I'm doing a 12-day tour. My wife and I are going to Europe, and we're going to Switzerland, Barcelona, France, and multiple cities in Italy. Then I come back, I'm home for a couple of days, and then I go right to Chicago to do a Fan Fest there. So I'm really happy to be super busy. And I just signed a small contract, 4-weekend contract with MLW.
Heck yeah, that's great.
So I manage Matthew Justice there, who's badass. So I love Matthew Justice.
I do too.
And they put us together. John Thorne put us together at AIW, and we just clicked. And he's kind of hardcore, just like Sabu.
Oh yeah.
Been down. So MLW brought me into where I got Tampa, Atlanta, and another show somewhere that's coming up.
Chicago? Chicago?
It could be.
It might be Chicago. They just announced tickets today for Atlanta back September. It's going to in September. I know they're going back to Tampa, and then there's one other place I think, but I know Chicago is one of them too at some point.
MLW, yeah.
MLW is great. Their show is great. I've worked with them since 2019. I've done their social media and everything like that, and I write their recaps, and I've got to go to plenty of the shows. It's such a cool operation. They kind of have that ECW vibe in a lot of ways where it's
they do, and I fit right for some reason. I fit right in with Matthew Justice. We did some promos. We were in Florida, St. Pete at the big Coliseum. They had a good house. There was a double cage, and they used me on top with Justice, and we were cutting promos, and they liked me, and I liked them, and so I was offered a three-day tour contract. I think 1 date in July, 1 date the following month, and 1 date the following month. So next 3 months, I'm working one show a month for them.
Man, yeah,
but let's see what happens.
Exactly. It's like I think it's such a you fit so well with Matthew Justice, and it's kind of neat because it's like since they have that ECW vibe almost, it's like Matthew Justice is getting that ECW vibe with you in tandem. So it's just I think it's a match made in heaven. You two together.
Yeah, we do really good together. The people like us, the boys like us, the producers like us, the owners like us. So yeah, I feel good there.
Yeah, I certainly don't blame
you. They're taking care of me. They like me. They offer me a good deal. I couldn't turn it down.
That's awesome. I know it's a great promotion. Their production is awesome. They got some good storylines, good stars coming in there too. So
I think they just won some type of lawsuit, like a $20 million lawsuit for WWE or something.
They did, yeah. There was a big lawsuit, and it was ongoing for quite a while, and then finally it got settled. And they got some good money came in it.
So hopefully that keeps them going because they're not drawing 5,000 people. But then,
right.
The show I was on in Tampa, there was could have been a couple thousand people in the small building. It was packed. It was great,
The Coliseum down there, right?
Yes, and St. Pete, right in Tampa Bay.
How is that venue? House. Did you like that venue?
Yes, perfect. Yeah. We ran there. ECW ran there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We did a couple of shows there. Yes, perfect for us. I don't want to call it MLW a small company, but it's perfect for a small company. You know, Vince can't go in there unless he does it like a TV, like a like
NXT or something.
But for a smaller company like MLW and CCW that I work for several times, 2 or 3 times a month I work for this company. They're badass. They're drawing 1,000 people every show they do, and that's not bad for. I hate to say indie show. It's good for a company that's not WWE. You know?
Yeah, and the promotion and that stuff.
There. Yeah.
Tampa's such a great city. I like Tampa a lot, and it has such a history with wrestling too. You know, with Eddie Graham.
It sure does, man. It sure does.
Yeah.
Hotbed of wrestling.
Man.
And everybody came through here. Florida Championship Wrestling. Let's see. Here's my Florida Championship Wrestling hat. Right here,
that's awesome. Yeah.
So everybody in the country that wrestled, there was territories all over the country. Guys came in and worked their deals here came in for 6 months or a year, worked the territory. But guys would come in like Bruno Sammartino. We would come in a couple of times a year, bring his whole family down vacation when it's winter up there. They would come down. Everybody came through here. Everybody.
Wow. And he would wrestle on the card and stuff like that?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. That's how I got to meet all these guys, watching Bruno Sammartino out in New York, and here he is coming into Tampa once or twice a year for, the 5 years or whatever that I worked here. That was very cool.
Did you grow up a fan of Bruno, or was it he kind of off your radar because he was Northeast and you're down south?
Well, how we knew about Bruno, because we didn't have Vince's TV down here, Vince Sr. and all that when we were kids. We got our information was magazines. That was before the kayfabe sheets. Remember the dirt sheets and all that?
Oh, yeah.
So this was before the dirt sheets. I never knew what a dirt sheet was. So we'd get all our information out of magazines like, damn it, I got one right here somewhere. Here it is. So here's how we got all our information back in the day through magazines.
Look at that.
So there's Dusty. This is 1984, and there's Michael Hayes and this is signed by Kevin too.
Oh, and that's awesome.
Of course, I'm on there. I wish I would have got Dusty to sign it. But there's guys in here like the Von Erich, Steamboat, Angelo Mosca, Jimmy Valiant, Snuka, Steve O, Greg Gagne, Brad Armstrong, Billy Jack, and the list goes on. Tony Atlas. So we, the guys were in different territories. There's Black Tech Mulligan. So I was really familiar with Bruno growing up because of the magazines. But once I get into business and got my contracts and work for Florida Championship Wrestling, I start meeting all these guys that would come in just for the week and do the loop. Monday, West Palm Beach, Tampa Tuesday, Miami Wednesday, Jacksonville Thursday, Friday and Saturday, spot shows, and Sunday Orlando. Repeat itself week after week, month after month, year after year.
Wow. Yeah.
And
man.
how we do that, Dominic? How the fuck? Can I cuss? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How the hell? And I'm not a big customer. How the hell did we draw every Monday night? How we draw 3,000 to 5,000 people week after week, month after month, year after year? Same thing in Tampa. How we sell out for Home Wrestling Army every, and then Miami Beach Convention Center. How we do that in Jacksonville? How the hell did we draw 3,000 to 5,000 people every freaking week?
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, it just speaks to too, and you always hear too how much wrestlers liked going down to Florida because the weather was nice and everything like that. It was an escape. When you even mentioned it, Bruno going down there with his family, like,
or there was a waiting list to get in, man.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Everybody would come through here. Then, of course, the attractions like I mentioned, Andre would come in for the week, maybe 3 times a year, come in for the week and work with somebody, then leave, and then Fabulous Moolah and the girls would come in for the week, and then the midgets would come in for the week. Then Abdullah would come in for the week. A specialty, somebody special would come in for the week. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Philadelphia asks, is that Dusty and Young Fonz under the ECW title? You have it right around your shoulder there, Fonzie? Is that you and Dusty there?
Yeah, that's in the early 80s.
Look at that. That's a great picture. What a great picture that is, Fonzie.
It's like my father. Oh, I just saw his son. I was, I was in this past weekend. I was with all these guys.
Oh,
that was my crew, all my ECW guys. And let me show you this poster that from this weekend. And Dustin was there. Dusty's kid. Yeah. So let's see. Let me name some of the guys that are on here. Matt Hardy, Earl Hebner, Jimmy Hart, Double A Orton Anderson. The list is big, man. Look at this.
Look at that poster. Oh man. Okay, I've seen that online. I remember seeing that picture. Yeah, man, what a lineup that is.
I'm on there right there, Daddy.
Heck yeah.
So that was a hell of a weekend, and Dustin looked great. He came running up to me because he was just starting out. He was just breaking in. I was the referee in Florida. His dad was the booker. They were breaking him in down here. So he never forgot that. He's always treated me good. Fonzie came up and hugged me, and we bullshitted for a few minutes, and we both said we missed Dusty, and, he was a big part of my career, Dusty was.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll be talking about him for sure.
It's coming up in the weeks and weeks, man. We can pick one guy out. I'm going to get a big list of all the guys that I've worked with. It's got to be hundreds, maybe 1,000 different, guys that some of you guys would recognize and some of you guys might not know ahead of your time, like, Hiro Matsuda, Dominic DeAngelo, but then you're going to know the like Ray Stevens and Dick Murdochs and Bobby James and guys like that, and Jay White, you're going to know all those guys. But, man, I was lucky to get to work with all those guys in Florida.
What a great lineup. And, yeah, just everybody that comes through there, and just a lot of great names. And, yeah, names that people might not, my age or younger, might not be familiar with, but, man, leaving a legacy, Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great legacy.
And, Harley Race gave me this belt. This is the original title belt that Harley Race and the Funks had, and Jack Briscoe. Of course, this is a replica. Somebody gave it to Harley, and Harley we were in Florida, and they gave it to him. He said thank you and all that. And as soon as they left, he says, "Here, Fonzie, this is for you." So I love it. It's an important gift for me from Harley Race.
Absolutely, yeah.
It means a lot to me. It's priceless for me because where it came from, Harley Race. But you can buy them for $500 or whatever, nice, but You couldn't give me $2,000, $5,000 for that belt. I wouldn't sell it because
Heck yeah, no way, man. Not after Harley Race gives it to you.
right.
Terry Funk called him the greatest champion of all time. He said it was him and his brother Dory. He thought were the two greatest NWA champions. He said.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Terry said that he would call Harley that because he knew if he didn't, Harley would beat his ass. That's what he said.
Harley was a double tough guy too, boy.
Yeah.
He was a tough guy. Wow.
Any good stories about Harley?
Nothing like the toughness, because he was pretty cool unless somebody tried him or something, but that didn't happen too often. So when he came in, he would come in for the week as a world champion. He would come in for the week and work West Palm, Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville, the 2 spot shows, then Orlando. Then he would leave. The champion would come in several times a year and work with Barry Windham or whoever, with Dusty or our big baby face, and Russell. And I've seen him wrestle 60 minutes, and Flair's known for the 60-minute man for wrestling Broadway. We call him Broadways when he goes 60-minute time limit. So Harley Race isn't going to lose, and Barry Windham wouldn't lose. They'd go Broadway, go through the time. And Harley Race would do it like it was nothing. And I was having problems because, I was in shape. I was young. I'm slim. I'm in shape. I'm hyper. But, 60 minutes in the ring is a long time, especially for those guys. It was easy. You would think it'd be easy for the referee, but I'd get up and down and do all my stuff. And I said, Harley, we're going 60 minutes again? He said, Fonzie, you have a problem going 60 minutes? I said, no, but it just seems so long. He says, well, dude, sometimes this is what I do. I'll have 4 15-minute matches in the 60 minutes. So he'd have a 15-minute match and have high spots, boom, 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 go to a big false finish, and then have him start a new match. In that match, nobody knew it but him,
Yeah, good way to pace himself out.
Go by like that. Instead of 45 minutes remaining, 30 minutes remaining, 20 minutes. Man, those 15 minutes would go by like that. It was pretty cool concept. That's how I learned to, it was pretty cool. Harley, yeah.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Who do you think complimented Harley really well in the ring?
Well, down here, I could say Barry Windham was our big baby face. Anybody, Harley could work with anybody. So even the middle guys would get like Scott McGee.
Yeah,
he wasn't a big main eventer. He wasn't the first match preliminary. He was in the middle, and then he got a title shot like at a spot show. They wouldn't do like the Bayfront Center in front of. They would use him at a spot show. Harley would be here anyway and have a hell of a match. And Harley would work with him like he's Dusty. Get him over and work with him, man. Harley was great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a great look, great voice, great presence.
He looked like a champion. He handled himself like a champion. He
carried himself like one, and it's just like you don't get somebody like that again. I don't think so. Harley was, and just hearing the cool stories about him after the fact, because he was before my time. I didn't learn more about Harley until reading and educating myself a little bit more on the industry and the history of the business. So it's just like what an impact he left. And it's just, man, it's kind of neat too, that a lot of people still pay homage to him in a lot of ways when they wrestle and things like that. You see somebody like Trevor Murdoch's a big fan of his, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I love Murdoch and Ray Stevens and all that crew. Bobby Duncombe Sr.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The classic heel stuff too. Yeah. With that.
Yeah. Wow. McDaniel, all that crew. That's that Harley Race, Dusty, Harley Race, the Funks, all that era. Then the next generation was the Barry Windhams and Shawn Michaels and all that. That's what I was a part of. Dusty and them were part of. I came in right after, the next generation would be me, Barry Windham, and those guys.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. I know I'm envious because I was like, dang it, that would be a great time to watch wrestling and stuff like that. And but
when I started in Florida, Dominic, in May of 1980. I'll name just a couple guys that are big names that were finishing up. They had already been in the business 25 years, and they were doing their last couple years on the road, and they would retire. Here's a name that you would like: Bobo Brazil.
Yeah. Oh my
Can
God.
you imagine I worked with Bobo Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah, referee his matches.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking cool to have that in my, on my resume.
Absolutely. And there was a neat story I heard too where it was the Sheik and Bobo wrestling, maybe in Detroit. I don't know if they were somewhere else.
Probably
Yeah.
could have been.
And
But they probably wrestled in the Northeast all over. But
yeah, probably. But
hey, what's the story?
The neat aspect of the story was Bobo was wrestling, and I think some fans were calling him like some racial slurs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Sheik, it was like the only time I think Sheik ever broke character to defend him was like that was something during that time. I can't remember where I read that at, but I was like, what a fascinating thing. Like it's just like two legends like that, Bobo Brazil, in a time period where it's just like, there's that kind of segregation or what have you. And
that probably had to be, you would think that'd be in the South, maybe Bill Watts' territory or somewhere in the South, because, but, even in the 50s and 60s when they were touring, there was racism all over the country.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So I remember hearing that story. And I was like, that's so cool. Because like doing a show with Rob is like, I'm learning a whole lot about the Sheik I didn't know. Like, and his aspect of how he trained them and his mentality and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just I'm getting a real lesson from both you and Rob now. So it's good stuff. Speaking of Rob, let's get to the remaining questions here. I'll pull it up. That's not it. Let's see. This one probably is here. Here we go. Oh, nope, that's not it either. Let me take one of the fan questions in time while I find it here. Hey, yeah, here's a simple one. Steven Mason, did your path cross with Cornette? What's your been experience with Jim Cornette if you haven't?
Jim Cornette, yeah, of course. He come in and worked the Florida territory with his two guys, and he had his tennis racket and all that. I was a young referee, and Jimmy's about my age.
Yeah.
And he was pretty cool to work with. Well, one time in West Palm Beach, he was working the crowd, and he pulled out a stack of ones, and he's tried to pay the referee off, which was me. So I seen it was a stack of ones, and he put them in my hand. And so I said, damn, what'd I do? So I got them. I couldn't put them in my pocket. So I got them, and I threw them up in the air, and all the fans got them. But, there might have been 30 or 40 bucks from back then. That was, a little bit of money. But he said, Fonzie, throw all my money away. He was hot at me for just a minute, But what a promo guy, man. And Jim Cornette loves the business. And he's opinionated too.
Oh yeah.
He's very opinionated. He'll call he'll call it like it is, like he sees it. Mm-hmm. I admire Jimmy.
Yeah.
Been as long as I have, maybe longer. I don't think longer, but around the same time, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, around that same time. The thing about Jim is like, his podcast is so popular, his show is so popular that and it makes sense because
he's opinionated.
Exactly. Yeah. He gives his opinion, he gives his thoughts, and he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he sure does. Yeah.
So it's just like people connect with that, and people kind of get frustrated sometimes with how the product's displayed in certain ways, and he'll just say it like it is and then give you the facts about how he feels.
And that's how Jim is. And that's why I admire him. When I see him at these conventions and stuff once in a while, I don't see him all the time. I don't know if he's off the road or doesn't do a lot of it, but
he's pretty private now. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me?
He's pretty private now. Yeah, he doesn't tour. He doesn't go anywhere really.
Because I guess he's happy with his podcast. But I do these big events all over the country, like this weekend, last weekend. This one with Dusty's kid. That was a pretty big. I don't see Jimmy on those.
Yeah, wow.
I did not see him.
Yeah. He hasn't been out now. I think since the pandemic. I don't think he's done really anything. Like event wise and stuff like that. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, Fonzie's gonna give away a great 8x10. It's all signed, everything like that. All you have to do is subscribe to One True Sport and you have to ask a question. Even if I don't get to the question, as long as you ask a question in the chat, we will you'll be entered to win this signed 8x10 by a whole lot of cool names on there. Chavo Guerrero, Shane Douglas, Sandman, Sabu, Fonzie, Francine, Eyes Up There. So we got some good stuff there. So
yeah, we had a great week. We did for 2 days. We did 3 states. We did multiple appearances at a mall. We went to a guy's toy store. We did this. We did that. It was pretty cool. And then I forgot the name of the city where this big event was. There was a couple of thousand people there, I think, and they had like a WrestleCon from 4 to 6, and then the show started at 7. It was pretty damn cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, those events are so fun, and it's neat. I bet it's really neat for you guys to just kind of connect with one another again and have that kind of experience with a lot of people that you haven't seen in a while. Some you've seen probably regularly, like a Sabu or somebody like that, but it's still neat to kind of experience all that.
Yeah, this weekend in St. Paul, Minnesota, I don't know exactly who's on the card, but I'm coming in for Saturday from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. There's some type of big fan fest, and I don't even know if they have matches this Saturday night. But I know Sabu and I are going to be at this fan fest in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I think it's from 4 to 6. And then I think there may be a wrestling show after the
after the whole event.
After the WrestleCon, yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call it,
Yeah, I know. There's so many different ones they have. It's like, how do you keep track half the time,
Right.
Let's see. I want to pull up the rest of the RVD chat here. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Yes. 1 year later, Rob would win the WWE Championship from John Cena. How'd you feel about being in attendance for that when he beat John Cena?
I thought it was great. I said, man, they sure are pushing him, and they couldn't have picked a better guy because Van Dam was super talented, man. I felt good for him, and I think this was his first big run. I mean, he's been in Japan, and, there was only so much money in ECW, no matter what we did. But then he started, you get paid well if you're on top in WWE. So I was very happy when he signed a deal with them and started making big money. Good for him. And one of the hardest working guys in the business. Van Dam was dedicated and, dedicated to the business.
Yeah. How do you feel about John Cena? What was your initial impressions of him? And then do you think he could have survived in the original ECW too?
Yeah, he adapted. But Cena was good, man. He's a big star. He became a huge star. Now he's doing movies and he's, all kind of stuff. I've just seen him on the commercials and all kind of good for him. And I like John Cena. And he's a good. They gave him a push and he handled it. He handled himself well. Anything they threw at him, John Cena proved himself, and he was really good. And he was a main eventer. He was selling out places, WrestleManias, and all that stuff. And a cool guy.
Yeah. Have you got to?
I didn't work with him a lot. I wasn't working with him for on the same company but I've worked with him at multiple different things, and it was always very cool.
He's a student of the game too. It's like I always hear the stories about like how he approached a lot of legendary wrestlers and would tell stories that he knew about them and things like that. And so he like kept tabs on the business and like, what a good figurehead he was for WWE for those years. I know, watching it as a fan back then, I was frustrated because he was always on top, but you kind of look back and be like, wow, he really, that was a guy that they could rely on for those years,
Very reliable. And the people loved him,
yep.
And he had that look. He had a look like he had the fucking big jaw, big head, and fucking nice body and badass, and he was good in the ring.
Yeah.
He could hold his own. He could hold his own.
Yes, 100%.
I thought he's a big, big asset for the business.
100%. Absolutely. Let me see. I want to get some good questions in here. Here's a good one. Liam Evans from across the pond. He said, hey, Hey, Fonzie, I met Jake the Snake in Manchester over the weekend on his UK tour. Was just wondering if you had any fun stories of Jake from back in the day. Any good stories of Jake Roberts there, Fonzie?
Damn, him and Barry Windham, we were all in the same territory. I worked with Jake in, Florida Temperature Wrestling in the 80s when he was finding himself, and it was him and Barry Windham would have 5-star match. Him and Barry Windham were having like Van Dam and time matches with Jerry Lynn. I mean, just freaking good stuff, man. Any good stories about Jake? Yeah, let's see. Silly stories like we're in this. Somebody he pissed in this beer bottle or beer can. He had a piss. He said, "No, it's not. I was just pissing. I think we had a rent a car." And he forgot that he pissed in the thing, and he took a big swig of it. Spit it out. It was pretty funny. It was like almost a near riot somewhere. I think it was Miami Beach or something. And he was a heel. And people got pretty excited and started throwing chairs and shit. And he said, "Fonzie, stay behind me. I got you." We were trying to make it back to the dressing room for the ring. And he was ready to kick ass. But thank God he didn't. But he pulled me right in. He said, "Fonzie, I got you. Let's go." Tough guy. Great guy. I just seen him. He was on. Let's see, where did I see him at? Recently, in the last month, I think I've seen him twice.
He's awesome. My brother Marcus co-hosts his podcast with him and stuff like that.
Okay.
They're super tight together, and he is interact with him. He's so funny. He's a funny dude, and he's got sense of humor about him, but he's a very generous person too, and very thoughtful. It's like,
he's always been good to me, and like I said, I've known him since the 80s, and his dad was in the business. He had his little brother, what's his brother's name?
Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Yep. Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Darren Stilly. Grizzly Smith. That's right.
I met Grizzly. I didn't work with him in the ring, but he was an agent when I went to Mid-Atlantic and worked for Jim Crockett. He was an agent there, and then of course there was WWF and all that stuff. So pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff. Jake's awesome. And man, what a promo. What a mind for the business, one of a kind there on that one.
Yeah, I got all kind of pictures of let's see. Damn it, where's Jake at? I got pictures with Jake. Old pictures, even black and white, let's see, let me pull up this picture right here. It's a black and white. So that's how far I go back.
Holy smokes.
Damn it. Okay, this is you guys remember a guy named Bobby Jaggers?
I've heard of the name, yeah.
So this is in Florida in the early 80s, and look, this is a black and white fucking picture.
Yeah, holy smokes. Yeah, old school.
Right.
Super old school. Hey, you mentioned him earlier here. Darren Staley asked, "I always heard that Barry Windham was a freak of nature. Could eat like shit, drink like a fish, never work out, and still work like nobody else." Was that your experience, Windham?
I would say that describes him pretty good. He was a natural athlete. He had that tall Mark Spitz type body.
Yeah.
He wasn't big. Now he's huge like Blackjack. He's big and all that, but he wasn't. He did his time in the gym and all that, but he didn't need to. And he could work his ass off and drink with the best of them. And man, remember we were working 7 days a week. I went to schedule West Palm, Tampa, and all that. 7 days a week for months and months and months and months and years. And Barry, hey, and in the ring, and just the traveling alone is tough.
Oh my
Much
God.
less go, and he was one of our big baby faces, probably the biggest baby face here besides Dusty. And he'd come in and work 60 minutes with Harley Race, 60 minutes with Ric Flair, and have great matches and do it 7 days a week. When the champion would come in, he'd wrestle Barry in West Palm and Tampa and Miami. And man, he could go. Barry was that's a good word that a guy asked the question, a freak nature.
Freak of nature.
Way to describe Barry Windham.
That's awesome.
And a super guy. I just saw him in I don't know if it was California, wherever I saw him recently. Yeah, we like, we're a family. The wrestlers are, if I don't see Barry for 6 months or 2 years or 3 years, when we see each other, it's like we never,
Yeah, it's like you don't have to necessarily connect all the time with one another, but when you guys
Right.
do connect with each other, it's like you pick up where you left off,
Yeah.
that easy. Eddie Prather, who's one of our traveling champions here. Fonzie, were you in WCW yet when Rob Van Dam was in WCW for his cup of coffee? Were you there for him? Did you guys cross paths in WCW? Do you remember?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Well, I was there in the early 90s, like 91, 90. I did that Flair.
You did the Fujinami? Was that the one match you did? Did you do that?
Yeah, Fujinami, Ric Flair in Tokyo, the Tokyo Dome, 65,000 people.
Yeah.
And I think Barry was on the card. What was the question?
If Rob was there with the in WCW.
Yeah. So no, I don't think Rob was there. I think I met Rob for the first time around, in ECW.
In ECW, yeah, because
he was young and good looking before. He was young when he came in
he
ECW.
Was. I remember seeing the match, his first match there with Axel Rotten, and we told that story about how he has the robe on and like Rob did like a spinning kick, and then Axel Rotten was just like gave him like and the whole crowd like popped and like turned on Rob, and it was just funny stuff. And Rob was like, "Okay, I guess I gotta adjust who I am a little bit."
Right, Daddy?
Mm-hmm. Philadelphia asked another good question. In your whole career, Fonzie, what was your favorite venue to work and why?
Damn, I really like working in Tampa at the Fort Homer Hesterly Armory because it was we were all based out of Tampa, and we would do big business there week after week, every Tuesday night, man. But I guess my favorite venue that I didn't work a lot in, I've probably been there 7 or 8 times. The most famous venue on the planet, certainly in United States, Madison Square Gardens. What a thrill and what a history that the Gardens has, and for me to get to work, in that. I like working at the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo. Was freaking big crowd. I like working. I like working at Robards Arena in Florida. We go in Miami Beach Convention Center every Wednesday, man. Big business right there in Miami, right on the water. It was great, man. There's just so many. It's hard to pick a Hall of Fame of favorite venues, but those few I just named, or it'd be. I got to work at the Forum in Los Angeles before it, closed down. All the the big venues that when I started are either they tore the buildings down. Like I don't know if the Forum's still there. Is that was that in Los Angeles, right?
That was in Los Angeles. The Forum was,
yeah. So I got to work there. Wow, what a thrill!
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's cool to be at the ones in your home base too, but being somewhere like MSG, Madison Square Garden, is awesome.
Right.
And some of those experiences too. Huh?
Can you imagine working Madison Square Gardens?
Gotta be so.
I got heat with all the referees, the Hebners and Mike Chioda and all those guys. So when I signed a deal with Vince in 1993, my first week they put me in Madison Square Garden. So I said, "Damn, I want to look good when I go to Madison Square." So I had a beautiful suit. I'm dressed to the T. I've got nice fucking luggage, and everybody was wearing the Zubas and shit, traveling on their own. Remember the Zubas?
Yeah,
Yeah, so everybody was wearing those and jeans and stuff, and I said, "Damn, I don't want to look like the audience, because if I walk in with a pair of jeans, a nice pair of Nikes, and a nice button-up shirt, I look like the fucking audience. But if I walk in with nice luggage and a nice suit on and shit, I look like somebody. I look like a professional. I look like a referee." And so I enjoy. So anyway, so I walk in, and there's a bunch of guys around ringside. This is before the door, and they're talking and stuff. And Vince is at ringside talking, and Vince sees me walk in with my nice luggage, my 5-star suit on, and a Samara. He said, "Fonzie, come over here. Come over here. All the referees, come here." So he had a little meeting with me and the referees, Kyoto, the Hebners, and so on. And he said, "You see how Fonzie's dressed? Any big events from now on, I want you to dress just like him from now on." So I had heat with the referees. They said, after the meeting was over, and they said, "Hey, what do you know, now we got to dress like that." I said, "Hey, brother, I'm sorry, Daddy, but I felt
you got to look good."
Look good, Daddy. I don't want to look like the fucking audience. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then they had to dress nice too. So
yeah,
but it's light heat. They weren't really mad at me, but they was,
Yeah, that's great.
Damn, it's time to wear Zubas, and it's time to wear $1,000 suit.
Absolutely. I know they still sell Zubas now. They brought them back. They're back in the mix.
I think the Road Warriors who had.
Oh yeah, Road Warriors. That's what Bash Nagad just said. Owned by the Road Warriors, Zubaz. They still have a website.
They sold it. They sold the to somebody, but
I didn't know they owned it. I didn't know they owned Zubaz. That's crazy.
Yeah, they started off, and then they got a big offer because they were a nation. Everybody was wearing, not all the athletes, football, basketball. Everybody was wearing them, and the fans and the regular people caught wind, and they had like Cincinnati Bengals. They had the Bengals colors on them, and it's pretty cool. Remember Brian Pillman wearing them and shit. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, the Road Warriors.
Heck
I got pictures of Road Warriors somewhere.
Man, they were great too. They were.
Yeah.
What a historic tag team. It's just like synonymous with wrestling, pro wrestling.
Right.
Road Warriors.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The thing was, Road Warrior Animal was probably like my 4th interview of people I did. It was on that Radio Row. So
really?
Yeah. So I wanted, maybe he was my 3rd or something, because I had Jerry Lynn, I had Blue Meanie. He was like my 2nd or something like that. And then Road Warrior Animal was one of them too. And I chatted with him for like a couple minutes and stuff like that. And he was a great dude, like just a big dude, obviously.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one passed away a long time ago.
Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah, damn it. Great guy. Ooh, he'd been there. It was fucking great to work with those guys. And they would come into Florida. So, they were big stars on TBS, and then they would come into Florida and do the loop. The Road Warriors come in, and pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I was so lucky, Dominic, to get to work with all these guys.
I know, right? It's like
44 years I've been. I'm going to make a list for one of my podcasts. I'm going to try to make a list. It's going to be a big list. I'll just name most of the guys, and you guys are going to know 90% of them, but you might not know like Dominic DeAngelo or somebody like that. Or
I love Dominic DeAngelo. He's obviously, he was up in Pittsburgh and stuff like that. So I would cross paths with him at independent shows and stuff like that. And he was a really nice dude. It was neat because it was just some indie show like in Pittsburgh, and low key, but in a cool venue. I remember like watching a match that was going on, and then I remember looking over and there's like Dominic like looking at the curtain, watching the match going down. It's just kind of really neat to see. Hey, we got to thank Michael Amen for being a new member of.
Oh, congratulations, Michael!
Yeah,
thanks, Daddy.
That's awesome.
Is Michael going to get an 8x10?
We'll put him in the entry here for you. Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, Michael, yeah. How about it? We'll send him one. Is that okay there, Fonzie? You can give him.
Hell yeah. I'm going to send them all. I'm going to send the whole package to you, and then you get them out.
Okay. Hey, great.
I want to give away the one that's signed by all the guys. I'll give an extra one that I'll just sign it. I'll give one of these where I got all the Bell, Van Damme, and Sabu's belts. I'll give that one away.
Awesome.
And if you want to, Dominic, if you come up with something, some little game right now or something, I will give this shirt away tonight to one of our lucky followers and listeners.
Oh, man. Well, let's
very nice fucking night, beautiful, ready for the 4th of July, red, white, blue. Got the ECW patch on. It's badass. It's a medium, so let's get a guy my size.
Absolutely. Okay, so
we'll get that tonight. If you can't think of some giveaway, we're giving it away next time. But
let's do it next time. So I'll make a game plan to have something ready to go. Because now we're live on One True Sport Network. We'll think of something good, Fonzie, that we can kind of get the word out and get some stuff going. But yeah, for now we'll send out get some 8x10s out.
Okay.
What I'll count out to, I'm seeing who all asked a question in here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I like to give stuff away that people are participating. That's cool, you know. And they deserve it. They deserve to.
Absolutely. 1, 2, 3. I want to be sure I'm doing this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I think I got it. 8, 9, 10. Okay, and 11. We'll do 11. So I think I have 11. What I'll do, if you asked a question, I've starred you. What I'll do a number generator from 1 through 11. And whoever it is, keep your eyes peeled on your YouTube. I'll be sure to comment. I'll comment to you and get information from you to send you an 8x10. So that'll be the game plan. So Fonzie will have that big sign one, and whoever I pick out of that one, out of the random number generator, if you ask the question, you will get that 8x10. So you're very welcome, Michael. Thanks for joining. Thanks for signing up.
Thanks, Michael, Daddy. Thanks for fucking listening, and hopefully you stick with us, and don't be afraid to ask any fucking questions. Do I smoke pot like Rob Van Dam? Well, I don't smoke pot as good as Van Dam, but I do smoke a little bit of pot. I enjoy a nice joint now and then.
You can't beat that. Can't beat that, Fonzie. Oh, look at that too. Heck yeah. Look at that. All right. So, Michael, what we'll do, Michael, since you did sign up, you joined One True Sport, we'll definitely get you an 8x10 for sure. So I'll get your information here at some point, and then we'll do a little number generator too to determine who gets that big full sign one too as well. So
I got a really nice little sports car, and I bought a new car, and I gave the sports car to my niece, and I took my tag off.
Oh, look at that!
So either I'm going to put this in my office, or we'll do a giveaway in one of the upcoming podcasts.
Hell yeah! Oh man, you could win Fonzie's license plate.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, we'll have some fun stuff here, guys. So hey, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to like, subscribe, share, get the word out about this show. Tag One True Sport, 1TS Sport. Get the word out. Tag Fonzie. Spread the word about this show. You can check the show out itself on One True Sport here. You can see it live, or you can watch it previously, or you can get the audio version of it on the One of a Kind podcast with Rob Van Dam. It'll be on there, and it'll also be available early access. You can get it on the One True Sport RSS feed, which if you sign up for one of our levels, you automatically get that. So it'll be there. So.
Absolutely. And I'm wetting my feet on my podcast. It's my third podcast, so I'm wetting my feet. If I'll figure it out. But I'm going to have some guests. I'm going to have Francine. I'm going to have Sandman. I'm going to have Sabu. I'm going to have RVD. I'm going to have, there's a lot of people that I work with, so I'm going to have some guests in the future. That's for damn sure.
And Fonzie, we had over 1,500 people tuning in total tonight. So
really?
We had
congratulations. Over Thanks, Dominic. Thanks, One True Sport, Daddy.
One True Sport. Yep. Baby. Heck yeah. So we got we were live on Rob's Twitter, we were live on One True Sport Twitter, and we were live on the One True Sport YouTube. So
thanks everybody for tuning in, and you guys see me at a venue or at an event or at a podcast. I mean, at a WrestleCon, at a show, please come up to me and say, "Hey, Fonzie, I watch your podcast and I enjoy it." Or say, "Hey, Fonzie, your podcast sucks." Either way, come up to me and talk to me, Daddy. I'd love to hear you. Love to meet you guys. I'm really good with the fans, and I get along good. And usually, I have a stack of pictures, and I'll sign something, and we'll do some giveaways. I can't wait, man.
We'll do some giveaway. You can win a Fonzie license plate. You can win a shirt. He's got jackets. He's got a whole bunch of stuff to give away. So, guys, be sure to tune in. Be sure to like, subscribe, One True Sport, and spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. but always keep it right down the middle here with Bill.
I think we're going to give this, the first one we're going to give away is actually got the pants.
Really?
Yeah, so it's got the slacks with it.
That's
Yep,
awesome.
sure does.
It's like a track suit, huh?
Yeah, exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. It's a Puma too, so it's really nice.
Dude, that is badass.
Yeah, so this is the first one we're going to give away.
Yes, 100%. Look at that, man. That's badass, Fonzie.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's super cool.
And I bring them to the show, so I have them available, but you have to buy them. But on my podcast, Daddy, you can get into the contest that Dominic's going to come up with and win one.
Yes. So, guys, keep your eyes peeled on here. It's going to be good times. So, yes, thank you all for tuning in. And, hey, keep it right down the middle here with Fonzie, Bill Alfonso. We'll see you next time here.
That's right. Are we winding up?
We're winding up. We're good. We're done.
All right, Daddy. I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate the questions. Keep coming back. So, hey, Dominic, when is our next one? Because, I'm going to, I think we can get one. I don't know if we can get one more in because I'm leaving. I'm leaving the United States on June 12th.
Okay.
And I get back on June 23rd.
June 23rd. What day is it?
I got a few days and I go to Chicago. But if you think we can fit one in when I get back.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Because look, we're on today's the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's come up with something. But my business schedule. Even if I was staying in the States and just doing weekends, we could do one at any time. But since I'm going to this European tour, I might. Hey, should I do some promos in front of
hell yeah,
and all that for our podcast?
Hell yeah, Fonzie, definitely do that.
You think it's possible that we can do a short little podcast like something while I'm in Europe?
Possibly. We could try to set something up if it works. As long as you have an internet connection, I don't see why we couldn't try to do something.
Right. We just bought something because, we got to change money. We got to do this. We got to do that. So we changed our phones to the, international. So we use our own cell phones like international and stuff.
Yeah. As long as we have an internet, we can try to work something out. And if all else fails, we'll just do it when you get back.
Yes, but I think it'd be pretty fucking cool if I'm in front of the Coliseum, not the one in St. Pete, Florida, where MLW is going to
the Roman one.
Real fucking Coliseum in, Italy. That'd be fucking fuck, Daddy.
Where Bruno's great
right?
wrestled.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. I've been there, but like my wife says, she says, Fonzie, all you see was the airport, the venue, and the restaurant, and you go to the next. So she's right. I don't get to enjoy, I've been to like 20 different countries, but, airport and the venue.
Right. Well, it'll be a good time, Fonzie. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to have this show here too, and for the fans and everything like that. So
yeah, we'll create some interest to give some cool shit away. I don't know if I'm gonna give this away, but it's a pretty cool one of Vince's chairs that they gave me for appearing and do something with them. And who knows?
Who knows? We got options. We got options for topics, options for giveaways. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
So hey, we'll see you guys next time here on Right Down the Middle with Bill Fonzie Alfonso, Daddy.
This is Bill Alfonso, Daddy, saying so long from the Sunshine State.
See you guys.